Hello guys, it's Buddy the Trucking Traveler here, and today I'm back with another video. Today I am on my way from Troy, Michigan to Southfield. Just waiting to get on Rochester Road to head south. It's a really hot day, and there's actually been some crazy weather in the last couple of days because of the cold weather. It's really busy at that Alibi Pizza restaurant there. That's my favorite pizza restaurant in the area. Their pizzas and Greek salads are to die for. So I may do a review video about Alibi one of these days for the channel. In the content of all things local to the Metro Detroit area. Definitely weather that warrants high running ACs in your car, trucks, even your home. You definitely don't want to underestimate the severity of this heat that we've got right now. In fact, the thermometer of my truck is reading 86, and it's been in the 90s the last few days. There's Sylvan Glen on the southwest side of Rochester and Square Lake. It's going to be a very hot day to be golfing. Not that I mind it personally, but definitely not the best weather to be out golfing if you don't want to deal with the heat per se. Although there are some people out there actually braving the heat. There's the Camp Ticonderoga Lounge, which is basically the restaurant around Sylvan Glen. It's a nice yellow Rivian pickup truck. Sylvan Glen Lake Park. Heading through Long Lake, we're about to experience the busiest section of Rochester Road in Troy, Michigan. Apartments over there, or actually I think they're condos, no less. or if you were in Macomb County, east of DeQuinder, you'd call this 17 mile. We have a really infamous mile road system that stems from 8 Mile, which is basically the boundary, the north border of Detroit. And also, it's just a really nice way if you're here in Detroit to know where you are. But I digress. We're here at the busiest section of Rochester Road, northeast of 17 in Rochester. There's a really cool bakery called Ridley's, but right over there's a really nice Italian restaurant called Vicano's, which serves a lot of really good pastas, a lot of good Italian favorites. Lasagnas are my favorite there, but I might do a review of Vicano's foods there because I think they're really good. And just on the east side of Rochester there's Noni's, which is a really good brunch place, and sometimes when I go to church, I eat there, and they got a pretty good brunch business. They got a really good saganaki, which is basically Greek opa cheese. This is going to be a very highly trafficked area right now, despite the fact that it's Saturday night. Hopefully it won't be too bad getting through here. This is 16 Mile, which is basically where the best shops and restaurants are located here in the city of Troy. You got Sedona Tap House, Cooper's Hawk, and Somerset Mall, which is where a lot of really nice shops there are located. The Lego store for one, as well as the Capitol Grill and J. Alexander's, which are my favorite restaurants there. And they've got really good food. But I might do a review on some of the restaurants. Pardon my brain freeze, but I will definitely do a review of some of the restaurants on 16 Mile in Troy one of these days, because they have really good food. Might also do a review of Pecano's, and I might also do a review of Noni's too. But yeah, right now we're just waiting to get on Interstate 75. Hopefully we'll get the green light here soon, and then we'll be good to go. Still not really sure why. This is pretty busy during the weekdays when I'm driving down to Royal Oak. But anywho, we're about to get on I-75 right now and take that south. Go. Oh dear. Hope the guy with the F-150 is okay. Looks like we got some people going in between here and downtown. sometimes when I am driving on I-75, especially right around southbound I-75, I always wonder, what are people going to downtown for? Because there's a lot that goes on in downtown Detroit. But I'm not one of those people tonight. I'm going to be taking 696 west from here. This is where a lot of traffic builds up on I-75 in Oakland County. They actually put in a flex lane between exit 75, which is I-75 Business Loop and 11 Mile. And by the way, I-75 Business Loop is Square Lake for anybody who's local, but anyway, I digress. They put in a flex lane here to mitigate some of the traffic situations here, which is really good. Although usually these days, 80 to 75% of my driving is usually on my own when I'm in this truck. So I usually stay out of this flex lane just because it's only designed for vehicles that have more than two or more occupants. Is usually what this lane is designed for. Pretty soon I'm going to have to get into the right lane here so that way I can take 696 westbound. Right now we just left Troy, and now we're in Madison Heights, Royal Oak, as indicated by the sign. We just passed south of 14 Mile, but once we get south of 12 Mile, we'll be in Royal Oak. Although east to I-75 will be Madison Heights. There's 12 Mile Road for Royal Oak and Madison Heights. And pretty soon we'll be on 696 West. Get into the right lane here so that way we can take 696 west. Traveling south of 11 Mile at the moment. We're going to take that west to Lansing. Let's do this. I guess there's people going to Port Huron too. Alright, 696 west, here we go. Right now we're driving on the borderline between two communities here on 696 west of I-75. To the north of us is Royal Oak, and to the south of us is Ferndale. As you can see by that exit sign there. There's Woodward Avenue here, and there's somewhere around here, I don't know if we saw it or not. There it is. There's the sign for the Detroit Zoo. They actually recently renovated it. Or, no, not, I should say renovated it, but they redid the sign for the Detroit Zoo, but it's really nice. Right now there's Woodward Avenue, home to the Woodward Avenue Dream Cruise. I love Woodward Avenue. It's one of my favorite roads in the Metro Detroit area. To the south of us is Ferndale. A lot of fun driving on 696, especially in this section of 696. I-96, 275, Lansing. So this highway is an interstate spur of 696, or not an interstate spur of 696. This is a spur of I-96, but it runs from I-94. This highway runs from I-94 to 275, from Roseville to Farmington Hills. Right now we're driving west of Coolidge Highway, and we'll be in Oak Park, which is one of the most populated, I don't know what's going on with this guy, but this is a very heavily populated Jewish community, and one of the biggest centers for Jewish residents in Michigan. But I just love driving underneath these tunnels here. A lot of people in Oak Park rely on pedestrian-friendly infrastructure, and so this is why they built these tunnels for 696, but it is really fun to just drive underneath these tunnels on 696. I always look forward to, that's one of the things that I always look forward to experiencing on this part of 696. I have to slowly but surely make my way into the right lane here, because we're going to be taking exit for M10 US-24. There's construction that's blocking 696 from Losser to Franklin Road, and so I'm going to have to make sure I'm in the right lane to address the construction that we're going to be detoured from. But yeah, we just passed west of Greenfield Village, and we're in Southfield. We're going to be out of Southfield for a little bit. We're in Lathrop Village, as you can see, for exit 12 for Southfield Road, which we'll be back in Southfield momentarily. It just depends on how this traffic irons itself out here, but we should be okay. I'm not worried. I'm actually supposed to be going to Northville here in a little bit as well, so hopefully traffic west of US-24 is satisfactory. Evergreen Road, we're back in Southfield. 696 to 12 mile as a detour, so that's one of the other reasons why traffic is getting crazy around here. But this section of 696 west of Gloucester has been closed ever since mid to late January. It's definitely quite the project that they got going on 696, but I'm just looking forward to all of this being completed. US-24 and M10 Telegraph and Northwestern Highway. US-24 Telegraph is actually my favorite road on the west side and one of my favorite ways to get to the west side of Michigan. Part of the reason why I haven't really been taking US-24 Telegraph lately is because I-75 business loop Square Lake west of Updike is closed, and so to get to Southfield, I'm just taking I-75 to 696 instead, which isn't a bad route. I just prefer the US-24 Telegraph route, but it's still really nice. This particular section of 696 is one of my favorites anyways. Yeah, it's been a pretty good drive on 696. I really honestly have nothing to complain about. It's a nice Fiat there. Coming up to US-24, which will be my exit here. And we're about to cross the Rouge River, which runs all the way from Coolidge and Long Lake through Southfield, all the way down to Ford in Detroit, in Allen Park, no less, by I-75 and I-94. Here we are on US-24 in Southfield. I just had to switch lanes. But if you're wondering why this section of US-24 Telegraph is my favorite to drive on, well, look no further than the Tamaroff Honda and Nissan dealer. I like the Tamaroff Honda dealership a lot because of just had to stop at this light, but no big deal. But I like the Tamaroff Honda dealership because there's actually an elephant on the front lawn, and it's also decked out in red, white, and blue, which honestly is I really like that. Especially just showcase the remarkable power of the American spirit. Definitely really nice place to hang out if you're a local road enthusiast. US-24 and 696. But I also like US-24 Telegraph because you can definitely time the lights very well, no matter if you're traveling north or south. Of course, traffic is the biggest factor in that, but really it's just it's really nice to have a road like this where you can time the lights really well. Yep, Southfield's definitely a nice place. And one of my favorite Paneras in the Detroit area is actually located here in Southfield too, on US-24 and 696. It's a really good place to stop and get some pastries and some bread, some bagels. Definitely a nice place. The other thing I like about this section of US-24 by 696 and M10 is that is because of that American flag there, and it's also a really strategic interchange for a lot of people traveling to different sides of town. But anyway, I'm going to stop the video here. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.